Hey, ballers, welcome to If These Balls Could Talk. This is Mark, and I'm with John and Pete, and I am not ready for this show.
That's okay.
Secret mission. Hey, Pete.
Yo.
Pete.
Yo.
Start Craig, buddy.
Oh, no.
Oh, good.
Craig.
Good. I get to redo the intro.
I know Craig's not on because I didn't have to go hide him from spying on me.
No.
How is everybody tonight? The Knicks are losing by 10 with 8 minutes left, and
yeah.
I'm sad.
You and Mel are the only ones that care right now.
Yeah, shut up.
I'm so sorry, guys.
Now recording.
Okay.
I know a number one franchise with 64 wins that lost to the Miami Heat by 11 last night, so you should shut your
Sorry,
face.
they're still in the series.
Yeah, well,
Anyway.
so the Knicks.
Let's go to start this again. Hey, ballers, welcome to If These Balls Could Talk, where we talk about the latest in sports, tech, and pop culture. This is Mark, along with John and Pete, and we would like to welcome back Melanie Campion. Welcome, Mel.
That's my sister, girl.
Welcome.
What up,
Hey.
sister?
Mel, how you been?
Good. How you guys been?
Great.
Pretty good.
Good. Melanie just went to the woods. We just talked about it in the pre-show.
Ooh.
She went to the woods with her friends.
Anywhere specific in the woods?
No, just the woods.
Just the
Poconos.
Poconos.
Going to the Poconos.
That sounds like an M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Did you go to Mount Airy Lodge where
Right
all you
there.
have to bring is your love of everything?
No.
Guys, remember that commercial? Oh, man. Beautiful
I do not.
Mount Airy
Oh, now I do.
Lodge. All you have to bring
Keep
is
singing.
your
Go ahead.
love of everything.
We got nothing but time, John. We got
5,
nothing but
4,
time.
3, 2, 1. Okay, stop before we get a copyright infringement.
Nah,
As a kind
nobody goes to Mount Airy Lodge anymore.
Oh,
It's
okay.
fine.
Oh, okay.
As a kind reminder, if you like what you hear or see, please like us or hit that subscribe button, or as we like to say, tickle that little bell.
That's gross.
Yeah. That's
Yes.
John, how you been?
Steph's just said
Steph was
you.
a child. Steph was a child of the '80s. She knows what's up with commercials in downstate New York. I'm great. I worked from home Thursday. Had ice cream with Jamie. The play went awesome.
Yeah,
Jamie
how'd the
kicked
play
ass.
go?
Kicked
Yeah.
ass. Jamie was great. She was so great. Small aside that the troupe, whatever, they were invited to do a performance at the essentially a Catholic fundraiser for upstate New York tomorrow. And so they're gonna sing one of their songs, Jamie and the girl who played Mary Poppins and the girl who played the boy who played the brother, Max.
Nice.
Very nice.
I'm so proud
It's
of
very
her.
exciting, actually. She's so good. And so for Pete, we have a YouTube video that we can, and for Mark, we can watch when Mark's gonna be up tomorrow or
That's
Friday or
super
Saturday.
exciting.
We're gonna watch
Yeah,
some.
we're
Mary Poppins.
gonna all be in the same room together for the first time in a long time.
Maybe we'll do a live.
I mean,
We should.
I got a couple mics
do a
over
lot.
here if we want
We should
to
do a live.
hop on.
over party.
Oh, should I bring my mic? I'm bringing my computer already. I might as well bring the whole setup, right?
Yeah, I'd have to install
microphone.
the Shure software, but it should be fine.
Should be fine.
Should
you can run
be.
it on a laptop.
Famous
We should get
last
one of those
I have my
portable drivers.
I'm bringing my laptop.
Oh,
Pete,
you're
so
okay.
it'll
All
be
right. Well,
fine.
there you go.
Hey guys,
Yeah.
if you want to get a portable Shure mic for our live shows on the road, that would be great.
No, I don't. We don't need it. We
don't
just
need
need
it.
the adapter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm pretty much all set up. I don't know. We'll talk about that later. Pete, how you been?
Good. Finally got a project coming to a close. I'm a little bummed because the Bills missed their opportunity to trade a gazillion picks up and give away their
We'll
entire
talk about
draft to
that
the
later.
Ravens.
We'll talk about that later.
Okay. We'll
Yeah,
save
we're
it.
gonna
Bill's
talk
not
all
even
about-
a real team.
Sorry. So guys, I
Save
confess
it, Mel. Save it.
I have the draft on over there. It's right over there. So
I have the Nick game on.
I'm
Yeah.
not watching the draft.
Or the Nick
Not watching.
game?
Either of us.
either. Wow. So if I'm
Sadly,
like
yeah.
randomly we're in the middle of a topic and I'm like, so guys, you think, oh my god, then that's why. It's not that
Or
exciting now. The
We're
top.
just gonna say you have ADD.
Yeah,
That's
he
fair.
does.
Well, he does.
The viewers can relate.
The viewers can relate.
So yeah, Liam has been adorable too. He's been doing really well.
Oh, that's right.
He's rocking
Your
daycare.
kid kicks so much ass.
Yeah, he's finally healthy again. He's had a healthy streak for a while, and he is rapidly outgrowing
now.
his bassinet to the point where when he tries to stretch in it, I think he hits both sides. So
When we decided, not the bassinet, but when we decided to take Jamie out of the rear facing car seat, she literally was sitting like with her knees up in her chest. It was uncomfortable. Like we're like,
no.
you look uncomfortable. It's time to go front facing.
yeah, he's
And then she like was like a little spot in her front-facing car seat.
Oh.
It was also really cute.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he started off small, like low in the percentiles, but he's catching up. So we'll see. All right, Mark, how are you doing?
How are you doing?
Yeah,
Mr.
the super secret
project.
mission made me so late today. We went way too late, and it's about 20 minutes away without traffic from where I am right now.
So performing something.
Okay.
Yes. We've established last
Right,
time.
we did learn
We established
that, yes.
last time there was rehearsals.
And you're not pregnant. We also
But I'm
established that
not
last time.
pregnant.
Right, we ruled that out.
Not pregnant. Actually, the
Just
test
to catch Melanie out of hearing.
Yes, I peed on a stick, and it said that I was stupid.
I'm pretty sure you probably didn't have to do that, and we could have guessed.
Actually, I peed on a real stick, so it didn't really matter anyway.
Oh,
I misunderstood what it was asking.
You just like went out in the woods and like grabbed a stick and peed
Exactly.
on it. Like,
and then it didn't change color, so I was like, I guess I'm not pregnant.
it got wet, though, right?
It got wet. Yeah.
Yeah.
so you claimed property is all I'm hearing.
It was already on my property though, so I don't really know.
You established dominance.
I established dominance on my own property.
He also
yeah.
knows how to do all the paperwork for that because he's a realtor.
I'm not a
Right,
lawyer
Tom.
though. You still need a real estate lawyer for that. Anyway,
there's
let's
time.
get to know our friend Mel a little bit better, shall we?
Yes.
Sister.
Repeat guest. But
So,
let's
Mel-
get to know her better.
Now, you and John definitely went on a lot of trips when you were younger, a lot of different sporting events as well growing up. So please tell us about any memorable ones or favorite ones. And please how about something that wasn't quite as memorable or just wasn't quite as your favorite? And what crazy things, and I hope she's listening, did your mother do?
Oh,
By the way, John wrote this question, and I have a feeling he has in mind one story.
yeah.
He's fishing for this one.
I mean, I have like 4 or 5 stories in mind, so whichever one you pick is the right one.
So my 2 favorites, I think, is the All-Star Game in '98, the Major League Baseball All-Star Game.
Yeah, Jesus.
And we also went to the '96 NBA draft pick, which I'll say is probably the best draft class thus far in NBA history.
Wow.
I could be biased, but that's just me.
That was pretty. Was that Iverson? Was that the year Iverson?
Yes, Iverson, Colby, Mulberry.
Yeah, that was a
That's
pretty
a
good draft.
good year.
That was a pretty good
Why
draft.
did they have that in Jersey? So guys, to catch you up, we used to, my mother, in her attempt to get us to lots of sporting events, we used to go over the bridge and we used to go see the Nets instead of the Knicks. It was a lot cheaper and you could see everything still. And so she got offered to be able to go to the NBA draft. And Mel and I were like, hell yeah, let's go to the NBA
That's
draft.
freaking
So
cool.
That's how. Yeah, we had like a half season package or a quarter season package or something like that. We also just lost Mark, everybody.
Mark's gone.
Mark's gone. So let's just riff. Mel, keep talking with your story, and when Mark comes back, we will.
So we went to Toronto as well for a Yankee game.
Yeah,
we were doing a trip in general. It's not like we just went to Toronto for a Yankee game. And
Did I just screw everything up?
Oop.
Always.
No, you
but
just
it's fine.
disappeared.
We're riffing.
Okay.
I had to let the
And we
dog
always
in.
got lucky
okay.
enough to meet players and get signatures and whatever. But for whatever reason, my mom chased down the taxi that Mariano got into to the point where he had to stop the taxi and get out and just sign because he thought she was going to get hit by the taxi.
Oh.
I think I remember this story. I think I've heard this story before.
That was also the same trip where Derek Jeter and Alex Rodriguez were like waiting in the back room for like the fans to kind of clear out, and Alex Rodriguez was being an asshole because Alex Rodriguez is an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
and then who's the guy who said he's gonna sign? Who was that?
No, so Alex told Jeter not to sign for us because he could get paid. Because remember, Steiner was trying to get Jeter, and Jeter wouldn't sign with Steiner.
Yep.
And Jeter said, "These are my fans. They came from New York. I'm signing for them." And then A-Rod just got on the bus.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
And
Hey,
Kevin
he
Costner
still
gave
won you
Mama
guys a
box
World
of chocolate.
Series.
I mean, the one time he
It's
decided
your
to
last
play.
World Series.
Yeah, I know. Till this
Mark's
year.
talking crazy today.
Till
Feeling
this
good.
year.
Feeling good.
Really? You feeling that good? How's that pitching going?
It's going fine. Stroman pitched great yesterday. Yesterday? Yeah, it's yesterday. He looked awesome.
What month is it?
I mean, they played the Athletics, so shut up. It doesn't even matter when you beat the Athletics.
And then
It doesn't even count. It doesn't even count
That's
when
true.
you beat the Athletics.
That's true. The Red Sox, I think, swept the A's too. So
Man, so
And they're a 500
My favorite
team
part,
right now.
Melanie, by the way, to add it on, of that Toronto trip is when we just got into the stadium the first night. I think we went to 2 games that trip because we stayed at Skydome, but we scalped one night. And so we just got in that trip and we're starting walking down the stairs. And I think I've told the story on the
like
show.
you
And
bought from a scalper or you were scalping?
No, we bought from a scalper because apparently scalping is completely fine and completely like above board in Toronto because everybody there is nice.
It's Canada. It's fine.
It's Canada. And we're walking down and lower and lower and lower. I think we sat on like the 6th or 7th row and like right off the first base side. And my mother sees Derek Jeter playing catch. She's like, Derek, we came all the way from New York. It's amazing. And he's like, hello, ma'am.
You're right.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm just going to
I
wave.
was, however, in the hospital dying from something at that moment. So.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, what
You
happened?
got sick.
I got sick. I don't know what happened. I was like, they were at the game and I was in the ER dying and they were enjoying themselves. Good time.
Yeah, we were. I
my
forgot you
God.
didn't go to that game.
Did we talk about some of this on the last time Mel was on? I don't remember.
I'm old.
Well, at any rate, well,
And then,
yeah, is there
no,
anything
but
else?
there's more though.
Oh, there's
because
more,
We have like
okay.
a minute left.
Go for it.
We also went to Colorado once, and we were on this West Coast trip, and we were hitting. And this was the actual time that Melanie and I sat at the All-Star game, and I had my Ken Griffey All-Star jersey. And we went to, we were just like in the Denver area the night before, and by the stadium, and we saw these lights and fireworks and all this stuff was happening by the stadium. And we had just left dinner, so we walked down there, and the celebrities were coming out of the gala at the All-Star game. And so we were like autograph hounds back then. So Melanie and Mom stood in line like right outside the exit, and all these dressed up people are coming out, and here comes Kevin fucking Costner comes out of the All-Star Gala.
What?
And Kevin Costner comes out of the All-Star Gala, and Melanie and my mom walk up to me. Hey, Mr. Costner, pleasure to meet you. And Kevin Costner hands my mother a tin that is shaped like Coors Field. And inside of that tin, you open it and it plays music. And he said, hey, ma'am, do you want this? So, like, thank you for being a fan. And inside the tin that plays music is chocolate. And I think Mom still has the chocolate.
It does. We checked it not that long ago to see if it was like not corroded, and it's still there.
I think I do
And it
remember
still
that
plays
story.
"Take Me Out to the Ball Game."
That's
Still
so,
like take me out of the ball game.
that's so weird,
Whatever.
but so magically cool.
Magically cool. This was like
That will
prime
never
Kevin Costner
that,
to like
that will never happen
Field of
again.
Dreams
that
Kevin
exact
Costner. No,
sequence of
never
events.
Never again. And I wasn't around you, so if you guys can, Mel, if you want to tell us how nice Kevin Costner was.
He was. Where were you though?
I don't remember. I didn't meet Kevin Costner. You and Mom did.
I feel like you weren't that far behind us, but maybe you were.
I
No,
think
he was super nice.
This memory I have is you guys literally like bolting and leaving me in the street. 'Cause we were
That's
walking.
possible. That's possible, actually.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
My bad.
All right. And now, Pete, that's time.
All right. That is still an incredible story, though.
I had to get the Kevin Costner story.
I didn't. There was definitely more. So while we have Mel on the show, it's always a nice, rare opportunity because it's a unique situation. We've known John for a long time, but not as long as you have. So tell us about your most memorable John memory, or when he made you the maddest.
Oh.
And I'm trying to remember if we had talked about any stories like this last time. We may
We
have.
did. We had one, I think.
Okay.
Well,
so
we
do the
always
other
talk
one.
about this. It's been like 3 years. So
All right. Well, you
or,
can
not 3 years.
touch
but it's been
on
the
that
whole
one.
I
year.
mean, most of our time was fun, but he had his moments.
I'm always this way.
Yeah,
Melanie,
he's always
my Melanie agrees. I mean, you're both my Melanies, but Melanie, my wife, agrees that I am a pain in the ass.
He is occasionally. He's a provoker.
I am a provoker.
He's a
That's
provoker. And
Tell
then
the story. You can tell this. You can tell the story. It's fine.
what's our most? I don't know. Like we just did a lot of trips and had fun. We would disagree on some things and would get a little crazy, but most of the time our fights came when we played basketball.
That is true.
And you guys
That's why I
had
was good at basketball.
you guys had a hoop in your driveway, but I remember if you missed and the ball would roll like half a mile down a hill,
Yeah, because
Yeah,
it would hit that bottom part of that wall.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
then
If it
shoot
hit the
down.
wall and then roll down.
Also, Melanie and I learned how to play hard mode. So
Okay.
when we were learning how to play basketball and we had our hoop, our driveway was not paved. It was a gravel driveway.
Oh,
So you learned how to dribble.
Couldn't really dribble
on
very well on that.
Oh, we figured it out.
Huh.
We learned how to dribble on a gravel driveway, but every once in a while there'd be like a weird rock and it would take this weird bounce.
Oh no.
Right.
It's
And
kind of
then
like
it was always like, because there was 3 of us, it was usually 2 on 1, and we would just rotate it out.
Yeah, we played a
That's
lot of
fun.
horse. Played a lot of horse.
And then we had the cool basketball hoop in the pool.
That is true. We did. The hoop itself was like, wasn't it? It felt like it was 12 feet high, though. This dad's like,
because you're in the pool, it's-
measurements.
Oh yeah.
No, like the actual basket.
I do remember it being
Stupid
higher
high.
than normal.
Stupid high.
And
So-
it was tilted a little to one angle.
So I liked that ours
It
was
tilted.
my dad messed up on ours and made it 6 inches too low. So I was able to dunk on it. That was a torn ACL ago.
A torn ACL ago.
You know,
You could dunk 10 feet, Pete.
9.5. That's why I said that rim was 6 inches shorter, so I could do it.
Hell yeah, buddy.
I mean,
hell
did
yeah.
you see ganglious? They just reach
White man
forever.
can jump.
I
Which,
could
by
then
the way,
If the rim is lowered.
slightly.
if the rim is lowered.
Well, I could. Okay, I could dunk on a 10-foot with a smaller ball, just not a basketball.
Sounds like a personal.
I don't know if that's getting worse or better.
I don't know.
Not sure.
No, because I could never. I could not palm a basketball then, but I could palm
that's
anything.
tragic.
Right. So with one hand, I could do it.
I feel like if you get up, you should palm a basketball. You're doing it backwards.
Yeah, I mean, you need to be able to do both. I think that's important.
I know that it makes it way easier. Anyway, enough about this. How about what's the story that you remember where the two of you got into the most trouble?
Oh, we didn't. We didn't get caught.
Oh, okay. Then talk about one.
We tell on ourselves
Caref-
now.
Yeah, carefully tell us a story that you thought,
I mean, she's
man,
sleeping,
if we
so
got
it's fine.
caught, we'd be in
John
deep
used to
shit.
let us practice driving the Blazer in the back road.
Oh,
That is true. I did.
okay,
Do that. I did a lot of
unlicensed.
crazy shit.
Unlicensed.
You'll never know.
No reason whatsoever.
Statute of limitations. You're fine.
Right.
I
was-
still don't tell my mother any of the bad shit I did back in the day.
Were you with us?
What could happen now?
There was a time
right.
where we were in Canada, I think, and Melanie, Peter, and I were roaming the streets of Toronto for some reason. I still don't understand. I don't remember exactly.
You
why
guys
we
sound
were
like the
doing
worst
this.
Italian gang ever.
And
Roaming the streets of Toronto.
Yeah.
our brother Peter is awesome. Hi, Peter.
Hey, Pete.
But he gets a little uncomfortable sometimes, so he really wanted to go into a sex shop because he wanted to see porn,
As one does.
as one does, and so he wanted to go into the sex shop really bad, and so he was like, "Come on, guys, let's go." So we walked into this sex shop, and it turns out it was a gay sex shop. And so he was like, well, what is this? I'm like, well, Peter, it's a gay sex shop. And he's like, oh, okay. And so he left.
At least he's.
I don't think he's requested to go back.
I don't think he's requested to go back.
And he always has this awkward, funny laugh when he's uncomfortable.
Yeah, and he gets really uncomfortable and he laughs really silly. And he was doing that the whole time. It was amazing.
That's
It's an
funny.
amazing memory, and it's in my head. Literally burns into my mind for forever.
That's pretty funny.
He would just laugh and be like, "Look at this." Then we're not even of age. We have to leave.
We have to go, right? Well, everybody's of
maybe
age.
it was there. I don't know. We were in a whole other country.
Everybody's of age in Canada, so it's
Yeah, it's fine. You can walk. You can
So-
go into a
That's
porn
pretty
shop. It's
horrifying,
fine.
actually.
All right. And so, from that to kind of a heartfelt moment, I wanted to take this opportunity to tell you how proud I am of you and the person
Aw.
that you've become, which is incredible. With 2 biological daughters,
Aw.
2 adopted daughters, and a whole army of cousins and other younger family that you've taken a major role in raising, you have silently went and become mom. I just thought about that the
Aw.
other day.
Thank
That
you.
is a
Compliment.
true fact.
Like a super mom with all that.
Yeah, no, but like our mom, who has literally collected children
Oh, right,
for
right.
25
Right.
years.
Like the mother
right?
hen.
Collected
Yes.
sounds crazy.
I mean, but yes, right? That's what she did. And that's kind of
Yeah.
what you're doing, which is awesome to me. Like, awesome. And so, what's your best parenting advice, and what role do you think that sports and sports memories should come in kids' upbringing?
My best parenting advice is you got to let them go through it.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you see something and you want to intervene. Like there's sometimes I want to beat up children because they bother my children, but you have to let them go through it. Like, let me not handle
This is a
that.
safe spell. This is a safe space, Mel. I'm glad.
But you have to it's sometimes hard to watch, but you have to let them go through it.
Yeah, that's true.
As far as sports goes, sports brings a lot of memories. I don't think I remember everything we did. Sports also brings
Remember
like
a
structure.
lot. Yeah.
Yes, everything.
Yeah.
It brings structure and fun and, something, obviously you end up liking your teams and your players, and then you have that in common, and that can carry on for a while.
Oh yeah,
So I think it's just a combination of connection.
Yeah.
And we've mentioned this on the show
Strategy, too.
before too. Like kids learn about losing in sports.
Oh, very much.
Kids learn that they don't win everything.
And accountability too, which is a big one.
Yeah, responsibility, accountability.
Yeah, so you don't want to let your teammates down.
Losing gracefully, which isn't not it's a learned talent. Losing gracefully.
Oh yeah,
Mel, what do you think about the participation trophy?
that's a good question.
I think in like maybe Little League, I think anything above that, I'm not a fan.
Yeah, there's a certain level. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
I get that.
I think like at that level, it's good. You're getting them motivated. They have a thing, right? But at a certain point, it's something that they need to earn. Everybody's not getting the MVP. Everybody's not getting medals. So once they pass that and they don't get it, now you're setting them up to be upset and disappointed.
You're setting them up for failure as an adult, right? Because if they think they're just gonna win everything and everything's gonna be right and they're perfect, boy, the real world's gonna be a shocker when they.
I think losing is important.
Oh, for sure.
You have to lose to get better. You can't.
Absolutely.
If you're gonna play the person that's not anywhere near you, that's ridiculous. You're not gonna.
I personally learn more from my failures than I do from my wins and successes.
Well, the thing I learned from
to this day.
Well, like the thing I learned throughout my 20s and my college years and like making a lot of mistakes and even my 30s, honestly. You don't learn unless it hurts. Like really, like you don't learn unless it stings a little. And,
well, I think we're all broken inside too, but that's another story.
Well, like losing in a way, like learning how to lose and being on like a bad like Babe Ruth sports league or a bad high school team or like even a medium one where you go far, or even a good one where you go far and you lose in the final game. I mean, there's all those really important lessons.
It's all necessary.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, necessary. I had a nemesis in middle school basketball. You remember this kid, Mel? And because I haven't grown since middle school, if you guys are wondering. So I'm not a tall man, but I was a tall kid. And there was also like this tall kid. So we used to just like dive for balls and box each other out and like be really aggressive.
I can't picture this.
But they were better than us, right? They were.
What was it, Don Bosco?
No, it was the other. I thought it was like like another St. Patrick's. Like it was this. There was this kid who just like we always used to play and we always used to just like fight. And I don't know. They were better than us. They beat us all the time, and all I could do was be aggressive. But like learning like that stick-to-itiveness, I think is really important. It was also like 35 years ago, so
You'll learn how to go around them eventually.
Yeah.
yeah.
But get moving. Yeah.
Good.
All right, are we ready to kick off the shindig?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Go.
You guys ready for my musical next topics?
Hell yeah. I'm so excited that you have them listed.
Pete, this one's dedicated to you. Ready?
Okay.
I gotta get in the mood. Like, all right, I'm in the mood. Ready? Sleep with one eye open.
Yeah.
Here's the first topic. Yeah.
I'm going to
Nice.
record everything.
And that's all we can do because we don't want to pay the royalties. Anyway, so as of this taping, the first round of the NFL draft is going on. And so far, some things have gone as expected, but some surprises have also popped up. By the way, I wrote this well before the draft. So in anticipation, I was going to do this.
Okay.
I've updated a little bit, but some of it is very generic. So the top of the draft board came in no surprise with the top 3 picks all being quarterbacks. And the 2 worst of our teams all made predictable moves, with the Patriots choosing Drake May and the Giants getting Malik Neighbors. A much needed wide receiver. Meanwhile, the Bills hopefully will also choose a wide receiver to replace Stephon Diggs. Now, we've also seen some history, as half of the first top 12 picks were quarterbacks, and all of the first 14 picks were on the offensive side of the ball.
That's what I was going to talk about. I saw an edge at 15, and I'm like, what?
And he was the first defensive player. So, everyone, what do we think thus far about the first round of the NFL draft?
Can I just say,
go.
Malik Neighbors is a wonderful wide receiver.
Who would you much rather have had?
Bonkers good.
I would rather literally anyone but a wide receiver, because the Giants don't have a fucking quarterback.
Well, you do need an offensive lineman.
They don't have a fucking offensive line. Are
you allowed to curse on this show?
Yeah, you can curse as much as you want. So literally 2 all-pro.
No, we can't fucking curse, Mel.
Don't fucking say anything wrong.
Pro offensive linemen, are not all pro, but whatever they call it in fucking college. So many great structural players. With Daniel Jones, the Giants can't be good this year. They can't be good.
Nope.
He's a bad quarterback.
Or last year, or the year before that.
Who is gonna throw the ball to Malik Neighbors? Tommy DeVito? Shit, man. Shit.
Well, you wish he did. You want the Tommy Cutlets to come back.
I do wish he did. I love me some Tommy Cutlets. So I am feeling like, yes, the Giants needed a wide receiver 1. They don't have one. Darius Slayton is good, but he's not a 1. He's not really even a 2. He's might be a 3.
He's an okay 2. But yeah, definitely
he's an okay 2.
Solid 3.
Would you have much rather have had them do offensive line for first round?
If they weren't, I would much rather have them cut bait on Daniel Jones and start anew. No Saquon, no Daniel Jones. Let's build a new team. Let's give it 5 years. Let's figure it all the fuck out.
5 years?
No, I mean, when they decided, I've talked about this, right? When they decided that they were going to build a team around Saquon Barkley, when they decided they were not then going to franchise tag Daniel Jones and franchise tag Saquon Barkley, the team is literally just spinning and spinning and spinning, and nobody is building, right? There's no plan. And so,
you know who was on the board when they picked Saquon Barkley? Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold.
I know. Those teams have done better, right?
Josh Rosen, who really didn't pan out. So maybe you're better off, actually.
My really good friend Pete likes to say that quarterback is the most important position in football, but it really actually is. And you can't be good without a good quarterback, or at least a passable quarterback. And Daniel Jones is not that.
I mean, your Vegas.
I could talk about this for 5 minutes.
Right.
So
your Vegas win total can shift for 4 to 6 wins, whether your QB is good or not. It doesn't even shift a single win for any other player at any other position. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Mel, what do you think? Are you happy with the wide receiver as the Giants' first round pick?
I mean, I'm not really following, but probably not.
Okay.
I have an idea.
You know who Danny Dimes is, though, Daniel Jones?
Yes.
And you've seen video of him tripping over the 20-yard line?
Yeah, I saw that on Facebook.
That's one of my favorite videos of all time.
We were talking about it on Peanut, the Dynasty League that we talk about all the time. We were talking about the pick, and I literally just posted a gif of Daniel Jones tripping over himself because.
Yeah.
Okay, crazy. So Mark, we're gonna flip it. Is Drake May your guy?
I mean, he's going to be, right? I think he's an okay quarterback.
He looks really good.
I think he's an okay quarterback. I mean, do I think he's an improvement on Mac Jones?
Jacoby Brissett?
Jacoby Brissett. Listen, I love Jacoby
Mark
Brissett.
has always been a stan for Jacoby.
I think he is a pretty good quarterback. I much rather would have seen them get a WR1 for the first round. There was talk that they would trade down. So I think they were also thinking that. It's let's get some skill players, because as of right now, their best skilled player is a 40-year-old Julian Edelman, who's retired.
And Ramondre Stevenson.
Well, Ramondre Stevenson, yeah, he's a beast.
He is not 40.
I'd much rather would have either had them pick a wide receiver or an offensive tackle in the first round, and trade down. But I don't know if there weren't any suitors or whatnot. But I don't know. We'll see what happens in the next rounds. Everything is. I mean, it's a clean slate in Foxborough because it's a brand new regime.
Yeah.
So
Does,
we'll see what happens.
Does Jaden
I
Daniels
think
make
Time will tell.
Go ahead, Mel.
I was gonna say, I think for any team, if you can't build the team year after year, it may not be a player issue, it might be a front office issue.
The Giants have a major front office issue, and there are stats and stats about how they don't keep draft picks.
To be honest, so do the Patriots right now. I mean, Belichick has left things a bit of a mess over there.
Well, the defense is still pretty stacked.
Well, yeah, of course. But offensively, I mean, but then again, also that defense always played above their talent level with Belichick in there. So, I mean, I'm sure that there's still plenty of talent there, but we'll see if it's a solid this season without him as their coach.
But real quick, going back to the quarterback. So again, out of the top 12 picks, 6 of them were quarterbacks, and some of them were a little bit of a reach probably. Now, I think that the Vikings ended up, they got lucky because J.J. McCarthy was the quarterback they wanted, and he fell all the way down to 10. Michael Penix Jr. went before him at number 8 to the Falcons, who just signed Kirk Cousins.
Oh, that was interesting. Yes, that was a big shocker.
Like, what's going on with the Falcons?
Uh-huh.
Well, that feels like
maybe they
same
think
thing that I've been told.
I was going to say it maybe shows they're like, hey, Cousins is not going to be their long-term answer.
Michael Penix Jr. was predicted to be late first, early second round, and they pick him at 8.
That is pretty high. You know what they could have done? Trade down with Buffalo so they could. I mean,
and then Bo Nix got picked at 12.
Can we
talk
by the
about
Broncos, though?
Yeah, right. Bo Nix went 6 QB and 12 picks.
The Bears got easily the best quarterback in the last probably 5 years,
and potentially the best wide receiver in the draft.
Potentially the best wide receiver.
Dog, man, he is ridiculously good.
Do the Bears instantly compete? And actually, another question.
No.
I mean, not this year, but there's.
Does Jaden Daniels make the Commanders notably better? Since they have they had up until last year, up until this year, right now, they had a black hole at quarterback.
Yeah, they had negative quarterbacks.
Some reasonably good skill players. By the way, as a Terry McLaurin owner in Dynasty and a Brian Robinson Jr. owner in Dynasty.
As long as he's not shooting off his foot.
Oh, yeah, right.
He only did that the first year, guys. It's fine.
It's healed, yeah.
Fine.
Just the first year.
Yeah.
It's fine. He's been back, and he had a good season last season. I actually really like Brian Robinson Jr.
He might be a pretty good fantasy pick for next year. Mm-hmm. He's probably going to be the workhorse
with Jaden, baby.
Yeah, I mean, I will say they have potential now. But a lot of these QBs, they're not just electric from year one. I mean, some are,
Jesus,
but
Joe Alt is a monster.
You're really saying
6'8",
how's 2025 and 26 going to look now with these QBs? Are they going to become the people we hope they will then? And
Caleb Williams will.
Yes, and I mean, Chicago's kind of stacked now with Odunze. Like, Odunze is such a good player to complement a new quarterback, and I'm still mad that the Bills don't have him.
How long do you think it's going to take them to be elite? Like when rookies come in, yeah.
QBs,
you say like immediately or a year or two?
Well, these top 3 receivers could literally go out there year one and put up like ridiculous numbers.
Well, that's what they're saying about this
talented
quarterback draft class, and actually the top of this wide receiver draft class, that they're instantly going to fit right into the NFL. The thing about, and you know this, Mel, the thing between like college sports and NFL and professional sports in the NFL is still the defenses. The defenses are much better, much faster, much stronger.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
So the question, right, is really, do the quarterbacks survive getting pounded like a lot harder, right?
And a lot more often.
And a lot more often, right? Harder and often. Title of your sex tape. Hey.
Yeah. Well, was it like one game where, I mean, Joe Burrow.
Thanks, Andy Samberg.
Yes. Like, how good is Joe Burrow as a quarterback for the Bengals? And I mean, he was okay his first year, right? As good of a prospect as he was great from year 2 on. But even still, there are games now, they've had 3 years to get their offensive line together. He got sacked 9 times in one game. That has got to wear on you. And of course, yeah, this past year, his hand exploded.
No, it makes you see ghosts too, right?
Yeah, right.
No
It can mess with
No
your
quarterback is good if they're getting touched in under 3 seconds, and there are a lot of teams this year, but the Giants is one of them. You can't be good when that's going on.
So that does go to another point in this year's draft so far. I've seen a lot of offensive tackles picked in the top half of this.
Well, that's what
round.
I literally
that usually happens.
Not
literally
this many,
blown
though,
away
right?
by Joel stats.
No,
Joel,
it happens.
The Chargers first round pick at 5. So that man is 321 pounds, and he's fast. And he's huge. He's 6'8".
Oh, yeah.
He's just the biggest man ever. And he's going to be protecting, theoretically, Justin Herbert. So.
Yeah. I think what it is it's in the top 20, and like you're seeing way more of offensive line than defensive line. Like there's only been 2 edge rushers picked at this point.
Well, there's been only 3 defensive players picked so far.
Yeah. Which means the Bills are going to fucking pick a defender, and I'm going to be pissed.
No, they'll pick a wideout.
They're going to pick D-line, and I'm going to be super upset. I might break this desk.
I might break this.
And
Pete, I'll do a scotch bet with you on that if you want.
Will you?
If the Bills pick a wide receiver, you owe me a scotch. But if they don't, then I owe you a scotch.
Does he bring the scotch on Saturday?
Is it a bottle or a glass?
Is it a
bottle?
Saturday?
It's a bottle.
Is it a Saturday?
Is it a
scotch?
personal bottle or a regular bottle?
It's a scotch. It's a scotch bet. No. Mel, I only drink the good scotches. Okay.
Oh, okay.
If no other edge rushers are picked before the Bills are up at 28 and the Bills don't trade up, they are picking a defensive line, an edge rusher.
Joel Embiid scored 50 points.
Scotch
Joel
bet.
Embiid scored 50 points. You guys.
But that's
you guys bet on concussions?
That's if
What's
they
the
don't.
score?
That's if they don't trade up.
They lost by 11.
Oh, the Knicks lost?
125 to 44
God.
because Joel Embiid scored 50 points.
The Knicks lost.
The joy in Mark's voice is like really
It's
irritating.
2-1, bro.
Yeah, if they don't trade up though.
Yeah,
I feel like that
the
needs
Celtics
to
will
be...
the Celtics will go up 2-1 after game 3.
Hold on though, guys. I gotta set.
The Celtics lost, but the Celtics. Mark's talking shit. The Celtics lost the game in Boston. You guys, they literally lost home court advantage. I'm just saying.
It's a 7-game series.
They still lost home court advantage.
You know what? They're angry now. They're gonna wipe the pants off of Miami.
And Boston fans.
Anyway,
are
let's go. Ready?
All right.
Pete had a thing to say though. So Pete,
I was gonna
your
say
thing.
I have a
didn't wanna
condition on this, and that's if the Bills don't trade up. Because if they're trading up, they're trading up for a receiver.
So who wins the bet if they trade up?
Nobody does. Null and void.
So it's a push.
Yeah, I guess so.
Push.
Yeah, push if they trade up for a receiver.
All right, I'll agree to that. I agree to those terms.
There we go.
A gentleman's agreement.
Yes.
Huzzah!
Huh.
Huzzah!
All right.
Next topic.
Next.
Oh, that was.
We're going with that.
Next topic.
All right. Well, we're gonna get into meat and potatoes of this episode. Melanie is our resident WNBA expert. So, in just a few weeks, the 2024 WNBA season will tip off with possibly the best draft class and certainly the most hype in recent years. So, as expected, Caitlin Clark was picked first and was given the now highest WNBA contract at only $338,056. So this translates to a salary for a professional athlete, mind you, of $76,000 in year 1, which has become news over the last few weeks. And since then, Caitlin Clark has received a 7-figure endorsement deal from Nike for only
eight, I think.
No, only
wasn't it 10 million?
28 million.
28 million over 8 years. And some
That's
say
that's 8 figures.
That is 8.
it's not.
I was a math major.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah, it's 8 figures. Whatever.
It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money, but it is not a lot of money for a Nike contract, which is my point. But some say that's also way too low, including Dave Portnoy from Barstool Sports, going as far as saying that they are stealing from her.
Right, you have to remember too, it's a signature shoe, and it's not just a contract; it's a signature shoe.
Right. So how can we fix the pay discrepancy in women's professional sports? While it was just renegotiated in 2020, is it time for another players' union contract to keep up with the sport's fast growth since then?
Okay, first of all, I do love Caitlin Clark. I think she's a phenom, and I want to pretty much watch everything she does. I want to watch her eat a hamburger. That's how much I love Caitlin Clark.
She would wreck that hamburger.
Here's my problem with the question you just asked though. So while it's a lot less than say like a shoe contract for Steph Curry or a shoe contract for Kevin Durant, LeBron James, or something like that. Yes, there's a little bit of discrepancy with pay. However, where is it in line with the other female
Okay, so no, let's
female
just
shoe contracts?
back to truck the fuck up. Devin Booker. Do you know who Devin Booker is?
I do know who Devin Booker is.
Mark probably knows who
name
Devin
sounds
Booker is.
very
But
familiar.
do you know who Devin Booker is? Well, Devin Booker got $50 million for 5 years. Nobody the fuck who doesn't follow basketball knows who Devin Booker is, and literally everyone in America knows who Caitlin Clark is.
So you think that Caitlin Clark should get more or less, or should get more than Devin Booker, or the same?
Not as much as Steph Curry, more than Devin fucking Booker. Who cares who Devin Booker is?
Okay.
And she got.
I mean, they're moving games.
They are.
Arenas.
No, listen, the WNBA is going to have the highest attendance that they're ever going to have this year. But you know what? The bar is not really that high. So, and I'm playing devil's advocate here. Do I actually think that Caitlin Clark deserves money? I certainly do. I actually think that she probably, because of what she's going to do for the game, she probably actually deserves a 9-figure contract. Because she is so transcendental right now. She's going to draw people to games. I personally am going to go, when the Indiana Fever come to Mohegan Sun, I am going to buy a ticket at least one.
How many teenage girls who play high school basketball are going to buy Caitlin Clark's shoe? All of them? Maybe?
Well, I mean,
that's a good question.
Too.
Depends on if it's a good shoe.
I mean, it'll be a classic Nike $150 piece of shit.
I think she should have did 2 years and then renegotiated.
I mean,
Mel, I agree with that actually.
Yeah.
Or it should be on maybe a sliding scale or something.
There
like
you go.
that.
Right.
See,
like they did to Jordan.
Yeah, like they did to Jordan. That's a good point.
Are they going to do Caitlin Clark shoes for men and women, or just women?
Yeah, they're usually most of those shoes now are unisex.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Okay.
Because a lot of the NBA players wear Sabrina Ionescu's shoe as well.
Nice.
I didn't know that.
That's cool.
True. That is true. She almost beat Steph.
Ooh.
She did. She almost did.
Do you think next year they're gonna have Caitlin Clark go against Steph Curry?
I think they're gonna do it's Sabrina, Steph, Caitlin, and somebody else.
So like a 2-on-2 thing, or are they all for themselves?
No, I think they're gonna do 2 different 3-point contests. So
I'd watch that.
Yeah.
I like the skill. I mean, All-Star games are kind of a sham, but I like the skill contests. Like the NFL skill contests were kind of interesting, and just it's something to watch that isn't the guys half playing or Anyway.
I mean, it's definitely exciting what's going to happen, I think, next season with the WNBA. And I mean, hopefully it's just more, it's a sign of things to come, right? Right. I mean, how many games are you going to watch?
Don't watch women's basketball.
Absolutely.
So she brought a new fan group.
Right. I mean, unfortunately, well, I guess Mohican is close. Let's go to some games. That seems great. It's hard for me to get anywhere. I'm kind of in the black hole of sports right now. But I think what's really interesting.
They found Mel.
Not me, guys.
Hold on.
I think what's really interesting is that they did just renegotiate the WNBA contract, the WNBA Players Union contract. They did that in 2020, like I said. But did they do that with this growth in mind, with this great draft class, with
probably
Caitlin Clark's, rise to be?
I mean, was she even a freshman though when they negotiated that deal?
It's 4 years. She probably wasn't. I mean, they get scouted just like they get AAA scouted just like the men.
Oh,
she wasn't that big of a deal, I think, until she was a big deal this year, and she was a pretty big deal last year. But I don't think her freshman and sophomore year she had that
lower
much hype.
profile.
Yeah,
I was gonna say she wasn't like a household name.
She went to Iowa.
Who
paid attention to Iowa? The only reason why we paid attention to Iowa was Caitlin Clark.
I hear they have a great state fair.
Well, like I said, Caitlin Clark wanted to play for UConn just like every promising women's basketball player, and they didn't want her.
Can you imagine that? Can you imagine if she played for UConn, her and Paige Beckers?
Ooh. They'd
be the champions.
They wouldn't have been friends, though. They would have hated each other.
They don't need to be friends. They just need to do their job.
You know what? I think Paige Beckers would probably have taken number 2 to Caitlin Clark, I think. Or they would have found a good way to just play off each other.
Mm-hmm.
You think? Okay, so Do basketball teams work with 2 number 1 stars? Because I don't think they do.
Sometimes.
It's kind of like
Sometimes the stars feel, they can swallow it.
It depends. Yeah, it depends. Like how you said all the time for NFL wide receivers 1 and 1A. That's what a lot of NBA teams I think have to do. At least the successful ones.
I think the women do it better.
The women definitely do it better. The
ones without Kyrie Irving on them.
Well, when LeBron and Kyrie won a championship, LeBron was 1 and Kyrie was 1A.
That's true.
And then Kyrie wanted to be 1.
Kyrie did that for Bron, but he was also kind of young, and he was playing with LeBron James.
He also hit the game-winning shot.
That is true. That's true. You see how pissed AD was when they lost the other night?
Yeah,
should have been lost. They should have won that game.
He was.
He didn't want to interview at all.
They should have won that game.
He didn't want to. That some dumbass journalist asked him a stupid question. And he's just like, mic drop. He's like, "Fuck you guys, I'm out," and we are out of time.
We've been out of time.
Not close. Close.
All right, I got one. Ready?
Yep.
Let's see if you guys can guess the song. I'm gonna take my horse to the next topic.
Guess the song.
Lil Nas X.
Oh.
That's all I can do, or we're gonna have to pay for royalties.
I think it's original work. I think we can.
Yes, that's an original song.
Would you say You Get Around? Is that the one?
No.
No, damn it. Okay, I don't know then.
I think that was
Old Town Road.
Oh, okay.
Lil Nas
Sorry,
X.
I missed it. It is almost the same part of a melody in the verse of a Beach Boys song.
All right. We're going to stay on the topic of women's athletics. When you think of athletic families, you might think of the Williams sisters, the Manning brothers, and of course, the host of The New Heights, the Kelsey brothers. However, one of the more talented American families when it comes to sports is the Kordas. Now, the parents were both former tennis players, and their kids have followed in their athletic footsteps, with Sebastian also being a highly skilled tennis player, and their daughters Jessica and Nellie playing golf. Now, the one making the headlines recently is 25-year-old Nellie Korda, as she has won 5 consecutive tournaments, which is something that only Hall of Famers Nancy Lopez and Annika Sorenstam have ever accomplished. Interestingly enough, Korda didn't win a single tournament last year. As a comparison on the men's side, only Byron Nelson, Ben Hogan, and yes, Tiger Woods have ever done the same deed. So everyone, what do we think of Nellie Korda's dominance in golf?
Golf question.
It's a golf question.
Golf question.
It's a woman's golf question.
It's golf.
We're gonna just mention it to the research department.
Yeah,
so we're gonna figure
this
out.
So Nellie Korda again. She's 25 years old, very young.
Okay, yeah,
in the world of professional golf.
Very young for golf.
And she is the older of the 2 female Kordas that play golf. Jessica, I believe, is 22.
Okay, and they're both like prominent in the LPGA though.
Jessica, actually, neither of them have really been prominent until this year.
Okay.
Because Nellie, again, she's won 5 tournaments in a row.
Yeah,
She's the better one, or no?
She's the older one.
So she's got It was her time to break out first.
Yeah, she has a few more years of experience. Now, her brother Sebastian is a pretty well-known tennis player. I believe he's in top 20. I think he's ranked 21st in the whole world. Could be wrong about that.
Mm-hmm.
But he's definitely like top 5 in American tennis. The furthest he's ever done, I believe, in a major, I think, was the quarters. But again, he's still young. He's approaching his prime. I believe he's a little bit older than Nellie.
Mm-hmm.
So it's I mean, again, this family is super talented, but Nellie again has done something that only 2 other female golfers have ever done in history, and we'll see what happens with this next tournament that she's going to play.
Okay.
Can you imagine driving them to all their meets and whatever?
I know. Golf and tennis are not cheap.
I can imagine.
She just won the Chevron, which is cool. 1.2 million. Is that a lot for a purse for professional golfer, or was it just talking about female?
For the
payouts?
women, I mean, the men get paid like 4 or 5 as much.
See, but that ratio seems a hell of a lot closer compared to basketball.
It is.
Oh, absolutely.
Can we rewind?
They're gonna have to pay them eventually. It's coming.
The top NBA players are making like 60, 70 million a year.
Is the ratio of, because I mean, right, we've talked about why is there a payment discrepancy, and it's usually comes down to, well, the ratings are better for the men. Okay. Are the ratings, is the ratings difference similar in proportion between the PGA and LPGA and the WNBA and the NBA?
I mean, I don't think we'll ever actually know that unless with
More women.
It's not a
That
fair
is usually
estimate either
disclosed,
because they
though.
weren't always airing the games.
Yeah, that's true.
If they're not airing them, nobody can watch them.
That is true.
And golf in general, it's a good point. Golf in general, professional golf that is less televised unless you have specific golf network channels.
Every single PGA tournament is now televised. Every LPGA tournament might be.
Yeah. On what though?
Well, that they are on the lower channels usually.
Yeah.
Like the. So. Yeah, and definitely a lot like the ratio that watch men's golf versus women's golf is pretty it tilts definitely a lot towards men's. I wish I knew that number off the top of my head. I would guess though, gosh, maybe 20 times as many men or as many watch the men's game than the women's game.
And so
I feel it's a little bit more level for women's and men's basketball though.
And so she is 25.
But it seems like the pay difference is the opposite.
She's 25.
Is that old or young?
In golf, it is young.
Yeah. Really? It feels old. 25 is like the third year
you feel
of
old.
An NFL shut up. Of an NFL career
golf,
or an NBA career.
Golf, they play into their 40s.
Golfers, I mean, yeah, golfers can play in their 50s and 60s. Yeah, exactly.
A little more leisure, isn't it?
Right.
I mean, not as much as it used to be because there's a lot more torque and a lot more tension that gets added to the body with these aggressive swings. I mean, some women have what they call like a helicopter swing, where they're like, they're pulling all like
I want to see
their rims all around their body.
Mark, can you just do that again? Can you do that again for us? That was.
It's like woo. No, because in order to get a little bit more torque or momentum on the swing, they'll
just
do like
raise it above their heads. Do a little helicopter swing.
It's called it doesn't quite look like that, but it's literally called a helicopter swing.
I'm seeing Patrick Reed's name come up for the helicopter
now
swing.
I'm gonna go watch one of these tournaments.
Be very careful
I see a woman do it.
when you Google helicopter swing, it might be a different thing that you're not wanting.
I'm not gonna, you know what?
What is that, an Urban Dictionary topic that I don't know?
I don't know what John is thinking of here. I don't know what John
All I can think of is Dick in the Box by Lonely
Oh,
Island. That's all I can think of
God.
right now.
No,
Never mind.
we would have to consult our guru of Urban Dictionary, Chris Ide, because he knows like the entire thing. Whether or not that's a valid topic, that means something that we don't.
Put your stuff in that box.
Everything is a topic that we don't know.
Well, yes.
Hey, that's deep.
That's a good way to end that.
That should be the next topic introduction, actually.
All right, we're 40
We can
seconds.
use
We could be done.
Can you say that again? It'd be like everything is a next topic that we don't know.
Everything is the next topic that we don't know.
Whoa.
Beautiful and deep.
Whoa.
that is a true fact.
All right, so we're going to just keep it on women's sports because that's what we're talking about.
Why not?
So earlier this month, we were blessed, like I said, with possibly the best top 10 to ever go in a WNBA draft. This included Caitlin Clark, Cameron Brink, Camila Cardoso, Bricea Jackson, Angel Reese, and more. This was the first time the draft was open to fans, and 1,000 tickets sold out in 15 minutes. Melanie and I talked about this when it happened. And days after the drafts, most of the top picks' jerseys were completely sold out already. Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, can't find those jerseys anymore.
They're on back order now.
Yep. So first off, I just wanted to highlight how awesome this is and the growing hype surrounding the WNBA. Do we have any thoughts who will have immediate success as a professional? And with the number 2 and number 4 picks in Brink and Jackson, are the Los Angeles Sparks immediate contenders, finishing 9th in their conference last season?
I'm going to guess Caitlin Clark is going to be pretty good as a professional.
But she doesn't have a team.
The Fever are typically
she got
bad.
one.
And I think that
She didn't have a team in Iowa either.
Oh, yeah.
Right, that's true. She didn't have a team in Iowa. I think that Brink and Cardoso Cardoso was on the Iowa team, the national champions. not the Iowa team, the what's it face?
South Carolina.
South Carolina team, the national
No,
champions.
Cardosa and Reese are on Chicago.
They're on Chicago. No,
Chicago is formidable.
Cardoso went to Sparks. I literally just read this.
No, she went to Chicago with Reese.
I'm gonna look it up. But
we'll get the research department on that.
Can you tell us who is going to be a successful professional right off? Because there was some talk how much shit Caitlin Clark was talking, and a lot of the professionals are going to target her a little bit.
Yeah, but a lot of that was like AI. The poor girl.
Oh no!
Really?
Yeah,
really?
A lot of that was AI.
Crap?
It wasn't. Yeah.
Oh, that's
the
terrible.
robots against Caitlin Clark.
Why?
But I don't. I read what some of them said, but it wasn't even like they were coming for her. It was like the whole class. They were basically saying it's different. You'll adjust, but you're not going to come in and dominate immediately. It's pretty much it. And then I don't know what happened. It took off in another direction.
All right, but Mel, what do you? So we had the two best teams without a doubt last year, the Aces and the Liberty in the finals last year. Do we feel like it's going to be the same story, or is another team? I
don't think the Liberty is. I think the Liberty will struggle getting back there. I think the Aces have numerous teams that have competition this year. Even teams that didn't draft well, they adjusted their entire teams.
Wow. I literally said this correctly. Brink and Rakea Jackson went to the Sparks, and Rakea Jackson also a great pick.
Yes.
Now, any of these high-profile players, do you feel like they're going to make a difference on these teams that are already in a good position?
I think the teams that got 2 top draft picks will do well. I think Clark will, at some point in the season, I don't think she's going to come in immediately, but I think she will adjust quicker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Sparks and the Sky are going to get much better fast, I think, honestly.
Okay.
Clark is going to have a harder time getting those shots off in professional league.
But yeah, I think you're right. I think she'll adjust. What do you think about Angel Reese being? She got drafted at 7, right?
Wait,
I thought that was odd.
So I feel like at the end of not this year, but last year, after she won the title, she would have been a top 3 pick.
Yes.
And then she came back and she came all the way down to 7. So, I mean, I'm a little surprised about that. I mean, I feel like she's going to make an immediate impact.
I think Chicago won that draft pick.
I think Chicago won that draft.
What do you think made her fall that far if she would have been one of the top ones before?
I don't know, because I thought for sure she would go before Brink. I'm not really sure what happened there. I know Chicago won it, though.
I mean, if they were able to just sit right there and not trade up or anything and just have her at 7.
6'7". She's 6'7" and she can shoot.
Holy shit.
She's a big girl. And so, like, the fact that they literally just stacked their starting lineup with probably...
And they made...
definitely the best center in the draft, for sure. But probably, and like you said, Mel, probably better than Brink, probably the best forward in the draft, too.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to instantly compete. Height wins basketball games, right? And with the girls and the boys, the height is a little different, but height wins.
And like I said, the bigger ones are they know how to move and shoot now. It's different. It's a different playing field.
All right, so how many WNBA games are we going to this year?
I think we got to go to a couple.
Where's the closest arena?
Mohegans, and it's pretty cheap. And
Mel, what about you? How many games do you think you're going to see?
Mel goes to a shitload of.
I go to a lot of them.
I know you go. She goes to a lot.
For Phoenix already. I got a few lined up for Barclays.
Would you ever consider?
You know what? That reminds me.
That's easier for me to get there. It's hard. There's really no way for me to get to one.
Well, because you got to drive, but you can take mass transit to Barclays. Barclays is actually that's a really good arena. We went to Barclays for a Knicks game.
Yeah, it sounds familiar. I feel like some other big event happened there recently.
Lots of good shit happens at Barclays. It's a good arena.
Would you ever consider getting season tickets, or do you enjoy more going to different arenas and different games?
Me?
Yeah.
I would get season tickets. I actually want to do a summer of season tickets in Phoenix.
Interesting. Wow.
So
okay,
I want to
just
spend
like
the summer.
Phoenix Mercury, by the way, Mel's WNBA team.
Interesting. That's kind of cool, actually.
Congratulations to Phoenix Mercury, by the way, and newest little Phoenix Mercury coming out. Probably how many months 5 months, 6
Okay.
months
July, due July.
through July.
How much did we pay for the tickets when we saw the Sun last year?
$40, $50.
Yeah, it
Okay,
wasn't
so
bad.
I just looked
It's
up.
reasonable, yeah.
I just looked up the game Connecticut Sun versus Indiana Fever on Monday, June 10th.
I bet it's really expensive.
The cheapest ticket is $189.
Oh yeah, the Fever games are crazy. The night
Huh.
before the draft, the Fever game at Liberty, you could get it for 30, 60. Right after the draft, or as soon as they thought she was going to Indiana, it was like 300 and up.
Oh my gosh.
You know
But
what
that's
really
she
you know
does.
you know what really makes me mad? It's a resale ticket. Fucking Ticketmaster.
It's always them. They come in quick.
You know, I really should have went when I was here when they were playing in the tournament, but I just didn't. I was busy and they were expensive, and MVP is like
You would have been
amateur,
waiting
you know?
online to get in there.
Yeah, I would have been. You should have come up.
I should have. I didn't even know they were up there
Shit.
for some reason.
Yeah, they played the semifinal.
Oh,
the
that's right.
The Connecticut game was up here.
That
And
actor,
what's her
he
face,
goes to all of them. Jason something. I
Who
forgot
was
his
it?
name.
Cheryl Swoops who made fun of Albany?
Yeah, I think it was Cheryl Swoops.
And we're at time.
All right, Pete, I'm gonna need your help with this next one. Do the baseline to Another One Bites the Dust.
Dun, 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 do, do, do,
Another
do,
next
do,
topic.
do, 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 do.
Another next topic.
Oh, I didn't know you're still going. I'm sorry.
That's
nice.
it.
Mark,
Love
this is really
I
spectacular,
like
and
this.
I'm really happy
This is
about it.
Mark's prepared and he's rolling with it here.
You know what? I just started going down the list, and I just came up with a lot of them. Some of them are going to be really awesome, and others not so much. But
That's okay.
whose turn is it? Is it my turn?
Yours.
It is.
Okay. So there's been a lot of recent controversy with Chinese swimmers and TMZ. Now, most people would think this has to do with tabloid media, but TMZ also stands for trimetazidine. God, I hope I pronounced that right. Not only have 23 Chinese swimmers tested positive for the drug back in 2021, just before the Olympics in Tokyo, but there are also allegations of a cover-up between anti-doping agencies. Now, this may help explain why the Chinese did better than they ever had in the sport, winning 6 medals, including 3 gold. As of right now, the World Anti-Doping Agency, or WADA, is backing the swimmers, and no repercussions have been made at this time, meaning they're able to compete in this summer's Paris Games. So everyone, what should happen to the Chinese swimmers after evidence of doping with TMZ and a possible cover-up?
I
Are
mean,
they supposed to give their medals back?
yeah.
They have no. I mean,
it's cheating is cheating.
Well, don't we have
as of right now, there's zero punishment for them.
Don't we have
Okay.
like a reasonable? Why didn't Russia lose their ability to compete in the last?
Yeah, they're not allowed in the Olympics.
Well, the athletes can still compete under like an independent country, though, which is bullshit.
Wait,
Oh, I
was
know.
that
Yeah,
for
that
doping or was that for being?
That was for
kind of-
doping.
I was gonna say, was that for being shitty bullies in the world,
Nope.
or was that for doping?
That was for doping. It was
Yeah.
it
same
was a
fucking thing.
Russian-led campaign for doping.
right. It sucks that if the athletes were forced to
and they locking up people
participate
for
in
fake
that.
pens. They got a lot of nerves.
I know, but like, I'm torn on that because I feel so bad for these athletes, especially if they're not the ones that were willingly wanting to do this, right? Like you said, if
You
it was
really
a big
think that they
national
didn't
push-
want to do this?
All right. Well, I mean,
I
they're
mean-
coming from countries that would make them either way.
If it was a question of
If
you're not going to compete for us, period, if you don't dope up, like if it came to that amount of pressure, and I could see like China and Russia are
and what's the incentive?
notorious
Do
for
they
that.
get compensation? You know.
Oh, I mean, yeah, they're held in extremely high regard there for that. That's like a big status symbol. But I mean, so I'd feel bad for them if, right? I don't know. I'm not in their heads. I don't know what
mean,
decisions
also,
they made.
and
But if it was a
not
case
to-
of that where they were forced to do it, then yeah,
Give it to all
it's
the
nice that they
swimmers.
could still
Let's see who
compete.
wins.
But
Not to like put words or actions in a thing that I literally have no idea about, but like growing into a communist nation, if your country who you are representing in the Olympics tells you to use steroids, do you just use steroids because that's what your country has told you to do?
Because the consequences might be worse.
The
if you-
consequences, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, like if they say you need to be at your absolute best, and that means that we're going to put this drug in you, and we're not entirely
Oh,
sure what
you
it's
need
gonna
to do what you're
at
told.
the very least,
Yo,
yeah, at the very least, historically, China and Russia who are
I mean, I don't understand if literally this just happened, Russia literally couldn't compete in the last Olympics. If
No, I
China
think it's
is-
been a few years already.
Yeah,
If
I think it's
China
been
is
2 Olympics
doping,
so far.
It's been 2
if China
Olympics.
is doping, then they should not be able to compete.
Yeah.
But apparently they're not doping. So that's
But what do you?
that's-
Well,
So wait a second. I thought there was evidence that they were.
Well, no, they all tested positive.
Okay.
There's proof of that. The possibly bigger news is the World Anti-Doping Agency, which again is supposed to oversee everything, it was totally apparently covering all this up. In addition, with the Anti-Doping Agency within China, and that is potentially the bigger controversy here.
That sounds legit to me.
Yeah.
And as of right now, the World Anti-Doping Agency is saying, no, they're all innocent. There's nothing wrong here. But again, they all tested positive.
Let's check their bank accounts.
I don't think the World Anti-Doping Agency should be allowed to participate in the Olympics of Anti-Doping Agency.
I think they got a lot of deposits lately.
Yeah. I mean, the whole ordeal about gaining the Olympics is friggin' corrupt too.
Yeah.
Because it's literally just whoever the highest bidder is of the International Olympic Committee. I think that's what the IOC stands for. Because again, everyone's just buying their way to these Olympics.
Yeah. Damn it.
I mean,
Sorry.
it's
Brian Thomas Jr.
it's
just
kind
got
of
picked.
a big sports opportunity, right? I mean, or a tourism opportunity. That is a lot of money for our country to have the Olympics.
Well, short term, not in the long term. In the long term, you guys ever seen any documentary about what's going on in Atlanta, like ever since the Olympics happened?
I know that homeless people live in Olympic Stadium in Montreal.
Yeah, like all that infrastructure that they built for the Olympics has certainly not been used since then, and it's just there and it's not being used, and it's a total fucking waste. Which is why I'm glad that Boston was actually in the running for 2024 Olympics.
Really?
And yes. I am glad that they didn't get it because they would have built like a brand new stadium in downtown Boston, where again, and then after the Olympics left, what were they going to do with it?
You can't use one that's already there. Don't y'all have a few?
They need more with the Olympics.
Yeah,
you
there's
need
so
more.
many different facilities you have to build that are very specific to Olympic events that it's kind of hard to retrofit existing arenas for that. Some you can. But
I mean, you could have probably used some of the surrounding colleges, but they wanted something that has like a big crowd in it.
Yeah, the college tracks probably don't have the infrastructure for the amount of seats.
They wouldn't do the basketball games
or
in the TD
facilities.
Garden?
No. Right.
Are they building in France, or are they using something already there?
They'll probably build.
I believe they built in France. The only reason why I would have been excited for the Olympics to come to Boston was they would have probably finally fixed the fucking T in the subway system.
They're never going to fix the T, Mark.
If they do, if they get the Olympics.
Maybe that would have disrupted it even more.
And they might have.
It's part of its joy.
No, they would have gotten all this money to actually put into the transit system. I mean, it still won't be as good as New York, but hey.
I would have went to that.
Hey, Mark, can you just say that for the record one more time?
I will. The New York transit system is so much fucking better than Boston.
You're right, it is. Thank you. We appreciate.
I'm sorry,
your service.
You don't need my approval for that. Pretty much everyone knows that.
But I think it made John warm and fuzzy inside for you to say that, though.
Anyone who lives and or works in Boston hates the T.
Yeah, the T sucks.
That's crazy statement because I've been in the subway. That's saying something.
No, there's new fucking subway cars now. Everything's digital. You can pay with your phone. The New York MTA kicks ass.
Meanwhile, the
most of the
subway system in
work.
Boston, there's like a 50-50 chance that the cars will work.
I mean, I used to take the subway in New York City where it used to break down all the time. It used to be like,
that was centuries ago.
Fuck it, subway's out.
That was centuries ago. John is old now.
Yeah, that's true. That was a long time ago. Shit. All right, Mark. What else you got?
All right, let's see if you guys can guess this one. Actually, I just realized this one might be not so easy. I want the next topic. I want the next topic.
I want to hold your hand.
Yeah, it's such a catchy tune.
Who the hell sung it though?
So,
the Beatles.
That's right.
Yeah.
I knew it.
the game tonight didn't exactly go the Knicks way, but we're still going to do a Knicks topic.
Amazing.
Wait for it.
I mean, Joel Embiid scored 45 points, so fuck that guy. And Tyrese Maxey, I think, scored 40 points, so fuck that guy too. Anyway, So the New York Knicks are currently playing for a possible 3-0 lead. It's now a 2-1 series in the first round of the Eastern Conference playoffs. The news this week, however, was the dramatic victory in Game 2, where the Knicks went on an 8-0 run with the last 30 seconds of Game 2 on Monday and squeaking out a 3-point win in the final heroics by guard Dante DiVincenzo. Little Paisan action. As well, there is some controversy around the steal off the final inbound play, the fact that Tyrese Maxey wound up on the ground, and whether their coach got a timeout off before they lost the ball. Researching this question, I did actually find an angle that wasn't covered on TV with Maxey doing a great big push off Josh Hart, which probably should have been called too, before the ball was even inbounded. Seeming to be a case of the refs letting the team play out the end of a very, very tight game. And so what do you think about the end of the Knicks game on Monday, their chances in the playoffs in the round and this round and the next, and refs interfering in the end of playoff sports in general?
I mean,
also go Knicks.
I think the refs interfere too much.
But here's the thing, though. Mel, I agree with that partially, because not every ref squad is the same. Some of them over officiate, some of them under officiate.
Yeah.
My problem has always been just be fucking consistent.
Yeah.
Be fucking consistent. I don't care if it's the last play of the game. If you get knocked in the fucking head, that's a foul. Okay? You need to call that. Now, with regards to what happened specifically with the Sixers Knicks game, now the NBA has done this. This was one of the topics that I was going to bring up too. But it definitely is a little bit more appropriate with John being a Knicks fan. The NBA will always they always put out this report. It's called the final 2 minutes or something like that. Whereas essentially they fess up. It's like, oh yeah, we fucked up this call, which I can't stand that the NBA does this, by the way, because it's done zero to the game. Like it's done. Refs are still making idiotic calls or whatever.
Yep.
There was a lot of contact in that last possession.
He got totally mugged.
There was a lot of contact. Something should have been called.
What?
When you don't call those, though, those can escalate.
Absolutely,
well,
especially in the playoffs.
For sure. And I think that's part of the reason that Embiid went off tonight. He was very upset after Game 2, and he is a very big man and
he's
very
a large
good
man.
Player. Very large man.
7'2". I believe he's about 300 pounds. That's a
very
large man.
Now, if you see this angle, and you can find it on Reddit, it's really easy to Google. If you see this angle, I think that Maxey definitely fouled Josh Hart before the ball was inbounded. I don't necessarily know if you can say, though, while that contact was unfortunate and he did get fouled, why pass the ball from the ground? Like, you hit the ground, man, in the last 30 seconds
He panicked.
of the NBA game.
He panicked.
If you hit the ground, though, you don't try to pass it. You hold that fucking ball and you let your coach call timeout, which he was doing, but you lost. And see, here's the timing, too. The timing and the
so
reason
the coach
that
tried to call
time
time and he passed before the coach was able to get that off.
That is the reason that the Knicks are going to.
This is even worse,
man.
though. They should have called timeout before they even inbounded the ball, because that would have advanced the ball down the court.
Right. They made a lot of mistakes, and losing the ball
Nick
on
Nurse
the ground
is better than that. Nick Nurse is a better coach than that.
Yeah, losing the ball on the ground for Tyrese Maxey, who had a fantastic game too, is a big black mark, and you should have never, ever, 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 ever done that. Should have never tried to pass it. You should have never threw it away from your body. I mean, Josh Hart was like literally right there. He's like, oh, I'm just going to take this fucking ball.
Well, Tyrese Maxey is also not a point guard. He probably should not have been the one getting the ball.
Probably not. And I'd also say that while it was close, that offensive rebound by Josh Hart, or Isaiah Hartenstein, I mean, that really won the game for the Knicks. The fact that they got the ball back and they got another opportunity after that Jalen Brunson 3. And then Maxey's bringing the ball up court, and he's red hot, 20 seconds left. And you pass it to, I mean, and Embiid can shoot, but you pass it to your 7'2" giant to make the game-winning shot. I don't know about that either. I think that's another bad
terrible
call.
game plan.
Like a terrible game plan. So, that game was played tight. Every quarter was tight. The fact of it is that it could have went either way, and it went the Knicks' way. And it really, and Mel, you'll probably remember this, it really reminded me of Reggie Miller stabbing us in the heart back in the 90s.
Oh, my God.
right in the heart.
9 points in 3 seconds.
Yeah, it was
Damn.
8 seconds. It was 8
All right,
seconds.
okay.
This was
Sorry.
This was
That's why our
8
subway works
points.
when you were going.
This was 8 points in 30 seconds, but it was close and it felt the same. I don't know.
I think they're nervous. They ain't been in the playoffs in a minute.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
Tom Thibodeau likes to tire them out too.
Can we talk about though how above themselves the Knicks are playing so far, especially since OG got healthy and Randall went down, but OG got healthy and Hartenstein is just playing out of his mind. Probably the best role player in the NBA right now, honestly.
Did you feel like their roster had this talent to get to this point at the start of the season, or was it something that sort of developed
I'm
late?
shocked.
That's
Jalen Brunson.
Those are great seasons though, when that comes out of nowhere.
Is a legitimate top 5 MVP candidate, I think. I'll die on that hill. He's having a wonderful, wonderful season, and so Pete, for you and for anybody who doesn't know the NBA, Julius Randle probably the number 2 player on that team, and he's been out since February, probably.
I think a little less than that, but he's done for the year.
Oh,
he's done for the year.
He's not going to be able to
he's
come
not
back for a late playoff push.
And so basketball is a funny sport because, like we've been saying, you have like 2 or 3 really good players and really
there's so many fewer out there where you lose one of your best, and that's a huge impact.
You know how frustrating that must be to not be able to play during the playoffs?
Yeah.
I would go crazy.
But like the things like Hartenstein,
frustrated.
I've been saying, but like Miles McBride playing out of his mind, DiVincenzo playing out of his mind. I mean, the fact of it is mainly a lot of sports, but definitely arena sports. Basketball is a momentum sport, and the Knicks are
absolutely
very, very hot right now. Very hot.
Not after tonight.
Not after tonight. Well, how many? I guess the question really is, how long can a injured Joel Embiid keep his team on his back like that?
He doesn't look that injured right now.
He looked real injured in game 2. Real injured.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, there is the potential.
Time will tell.
I think there's actually the potential that this series is going to go to 7 games.
You think so?
The Sixers are a much better team than the 7th seed when they have Joel Embiid.
That's a hot take. That's 2 more losses in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway.
I don't know about all that.
I don't know about all that.
I think it could. I'm not saying it will. I think it could.
Yeah.
Mark's getting crazy today.
I mean, the Sixers scored 126 points. The Sixers were fire.
Listen, who's gonna guard Embiid?
I mean, nobody can. It's a big old white guy on.
Big old white guy.
Two big old white guys, right? Hartenstein and Bogdanovich. Those are the guys who are going to guard Embiid, and they're not going to do a great job.
That sounds like the worst lawyer firm ever, by the way.
Hey, I'm not calling him.
That's it. That's a hashtag Hartenstein and Bogdanovich. We are done with this topic. We cannot get any better. It cannot improve.
Amazing.
Off of Hartenstein and Bogdanovich.
Now it just needs a jingle.
Pete, write it, please.
And a phone number.
Look at these big Eastern European guys and just write that shit, man. Just make it happen. We'll submit it to the Knicks. We'll be famous. It'll be awesome.
Oh man! All right. What a great segue to. That's just as a reminder. This episode is brought to you by Gridiron Grill BBQ sets. Make your tailgate the talk of the town with Gridiron Grill BBQ sets. Our grills are as tough as your favorite linebacker and just as reliable. Gridiron Grill, because the pregame should be just as good as the game itself.
Is this Mark's secret project that he's getting us sponsors?
Is that real? Right.
It may or may not have been a real sponsor.
Thanks, ChatGPT.
Oh, audience, guess. We'll reveal the answer.
It's not real.
All right.
And if it happens to be real adjacent, we apologize.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Oh, that's
Mark definitely sold it. The question is the product there.
I know. I got that good voiceover voice, don't I?
Hey, you know what? If that happened to
We
be
almost have to
exactly,
question it. So.
it does sound very professional.
Ready? This is one of my guilty pleasure songs.
Okay.
I'm gonna Google it.
Hey, I just heard this, and it's so crazy. Here's the next topic, and don't say maybe.
Never do
Mark.
that
I
again.
really want to say it.
Mark, I just
Sorry.
want to tell you, There's an Eastern European company called Stokes, ST_OK, which makes a gridiron portable grass grill. Actually a real thing.
What? That's incredible.
I didn't mention umlauts.
Oh,
Amazing.
there you go. Legally distinct.
And there is also a restaurant called the Gridiron Grill and another restaurant called the Gridiron Grill and Tap House.
So
Is it 20 minutes?
So Microsoft is the one that's
So you know what then? Any one of those ones that sounds just like what Mark advertised could actually be sponsored.
maybe they do. Maybe they are.
We already wrote your jingle for you. So
Maybe they're a sponsor. Anyway,
All right, Mark.
All
do your
right.
thing.
So unfortunately, it's my turn to bum everyone out now.
Oh.
So, as John has clearly stated multiple times in this podcast, we are in the darkest timeline. Show my work, you say? Well, there have been multiple accounts of anti-Semitic behavior across college campuses who are siding with the Palestinians, most notably in retaliation of the malicious tactics of Israel and Prime Minister Netanyahu. Now, we've also seen many states' attempts to ban abortions, including Arizona reinstating a pre-Civil War law, and more recently, Idaho's Defense of Life Act, which is currently being reviewed by the Supreme Court. So, everyone, has the country gone backwards with its anti-Semitic behaviors and reversal of Roe versus Wade?
I think the country's just gone backwards. Period.
Yeah,
Literally
just
everything.
Could you imagine trying to have a Civil War? You gonna have another one in 2020? You gonna lose that one too?
Can we talk about the Civil War movie with that just came out from A24, which looks absolutely incredible, by the way.
Why? Because you don't want to talk about this stuff.
You know
No,
what?
I'm just saying, like, literally, we have a like mockumentary drama movie that just was released by one of the biggest, like, hottest studios in the whole kind of country
I think
right
I
now.
saw a preview for it.
Yeah, it looks good. And
check that
and they're
out.
great. They're great. A24 is great. And it's literally like you look at it and you're like, nah, it's pretty close. It's pretty close.
Were these college protests though, were they specifically anti-Semitic or were they just
Well, no.
anti
they
the
were
Israeli war
pro-Palestine.
machine?
Well, I don't know, but some of them were definitely just pro-Palestine.
A lot of college kids are on the side of the Palestinians because of what Israel and Netanyahu has done. However, they have obviously not heard of what happened on October 6th when Hamas has decided to just rampage this concert, and they just literally kidnapped all these random Jewish people. So now clearly there's a lot of wrong going on both sides. I think we can everyone on this podcast can probably agree to that. There's just a lot of wrong.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of right at all.
Right. Can I just
A lot of children getting blown up.
A lot of
Right.
very innocent people have unfortunately faced the side effects of what's going on over there. There's a lot of famine going on, a lot of people not getting fed, there's a lot of people that are homeless, a lot of random people that have just died. There's just an awful lot of wrong going on over there right now.
Yeah.
And
What is the goal of the college protest? Do we know?
That's what I was wondering. Is I would hope
they want
that,
the U.S. They want the U.S. to change.
Intervene.
Yes, but the U.S. is still sending aid to Israel, which in a lot of respects I think is I personally I never thought that Israel should have gotten any aid from us. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
come on.
yeah. It's
And if they did, they should have been some kind of terms.
Didn't we send aid
associated.
to both of them though? I
No,
thought we sent
just Israel.
no. It's very one-sided right now, and it's
The rub is that Hamas is not Palestine.
Right. Hamas is the leader of Palestine. Now
The Palestinians are innocent.
Right.
Hamas is not. Yeah.
yeah.
Hamas is
And
not.
that's what I was
Yeah,
saying. That's what I'm hoping that's the drive of
Palestine.
these.
But they're playing they're saying they're the innocent bystanders in this now, even though there's one that started this.
I mean, it's a straight up terrorist group.
Absolutely.
The ones doing
I
the
noticed
attacking,
that
yes.
a lot of regular people, the general person stands for Palestine, and like a lot of corporate and celebrities are for Israel. And then any celebrities that say they're for Palestine get in trouble for one reason or another. So I don't really know what's going on with the rift.
I mean, unfortunately, Mark, just like last time, this is an unwinnable debate.
Yeah.
It's an unwinnable debate.
I would like
Everybody's wrong.
to hope that a lot of these young protesters
All right.
are protesting for humanitarian like pro-humanitarian, not
nobody is saying
not pro-Hamas
saying
or
that
pro-Netanyahu.
Jewish people
That's
should
just
die.
ridiculous. Yeah.
Anybody should die, really. It's saying that we, as the United States, should not take such an active part in genocide, no matter what the side of it is.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's all right. So that's the Middle Eastern side of this question. The one that I'm a little bit more furious about is the fact that all of these states now feel it's their duty to take into effect that abortion is murder, all abortions are murder, and they should be illegal. Like why is such reverse thinking on this?
I think and we don't want to.
Why is it like the most important thing? Why is it the most important thing for some of these states to have to do? Like, there's so much other shit.
It's an election year.
Because they don't have another thing to run on. That's it.
Yeah.
That's what they got.
It's an election year, and it's leading up to an election year, and really, and truthfully, it's just an innocent bystander.
Yeah.
It's like an innocent bystander of something that shouldn't be a political topic, but has turned into one.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
The smartest and both grossest thing the Republican Party's ever done was tie themselves to religion and abortion.
It's fucking
Yeah,
ridiculous.
you're not supposed to. You're supposed to. It's not supposed to be church and state, right?
No, but that's why it was.
And
that's why, in a way, it was from purely political gamesmanship standpoint. It was genius, but it pisses me off.
The thing I find the funniest is the hypocrisy in it all when it came to like the COVID vaccine. These are the people that say, "Well, this is my body and my choice," right?
Oh, of course, because it's
but
convenient.
not when it
for
comes
them
to
for that.
abortions.
Right. I mean,
Well,
everybody knows we're all useless.
What the fuck is wrong with people?
Everybody knows we're all useless the second we're actually born, Mark. Come on.
I mean,
We're gonna do what we want anyway. So.
I think at the end of the day, we have to understand that the world is in the state that it is because the base of America is in an unfortunate place. It's undereducated, it's underfunded, and we have a lot of people who, in a world where voting should be
overworked.
Right. In a world where voting should be a right, but it not necessarily should be either. We have a lot of people voting with their anger, right? 50,000 people in middle America that don't have jobs, right? There's the millions of poor people. There's millions of hungry people.
I don't think that has to do with it. Because
no, but I think it does.
They're voting with the wrong information.
I think it does.
Yo, absolutely. They picked a side and they're staying loyal to that side regardless of what happens. Look what's going on with fucking Trump right now. How many trials does he have to go through for people to kind of turn their back? It's like, oh, maybe this guy's a little fucked up.
Never.
The Supreme Court is currently voting on whether or not Trump should be tried for being a fucking traitor. I mean, like, right?
Right, because apparently if you were president once, then you're immune to the law.
I can do whatever I want as long as I'm president.
And even after.
Right.
Apparently he's just immune from anything.
You know what that means? You know what that means, Joe Biden? You should have someone go assassinate Trump.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay.
These are not the opinions.
I just have to say it again. These
disclaimer.
are not the opinions of If These Balls Could Talk as a podcast. Mark has not taken his meds today.
John will cut that out. John will cut that out of the show.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I was just going to say, if we circle back to an earlier topic.
We have Republican watchers,
right.
But they all just logged out.
What I was going to say, to circle this back, is that clearly some of these people should have played more sports as a kid to learn accountability.
Right.
See, there's a lesson
or
here.
Something.
This is our PSA. Yeah, this is our PSA. Like the end of a G.I. Joe cartoon.
It's like a circle. It has no beginning. It has no
end. The
end.
more you know.
Yep.
We should have an age limit on these political people because they can't be in there 90 years old.
The moral of this topic, kids,
problem?
stay in sports. Stay out of drugs.
Joe Biden read the pause on the teleprompter the other day. The man is too old to be president. And so
it's elder abuse now.
Well,
it's elder abuse now. The state of American politics is so fucking bad that we're gonna trip into Red Dawn, and the Chinese and the Russians are just gonna come fucking take us.
See, I wouldn't say that about Bernie Sanders. Isn't he just?
They're gonna swim here to do it.
Isn't he just as
right?
Isn't he just as old as those two? But he's still sharp as a tack.
He's not as fucking senile.
Yeah.
Oh,
Unfortunately.
Right.
Oh,
I
he
mean,
probably
so
takes
I don't
some
think
meds.
you can't put a direct age limit on it, but definitely some kind of aptitude test or something.
Aptitude test to be president.
Right.
nah, the other two's not taking their meds. I
Because
already
we
know.
Yeah.
we need another fucking old white guy.
Right.
Jesus.
Aren't they all old white guys?
Most of them.
Not
Darkest
all of
timeline.
them. All the ones that get voted.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Right.
Fuck,
We are
fuck this topic. Fuck this
we are in the
topic, Mark.
darkest timeline. We are in the darkest timeline.
Nobody likes any of this.
All right. But you know what it is time for?
It is. Mark, do you know what time it is?
It's the final topic. Please don't switch
Nothing
here.
with your sleepover.
Mark, you even clipped your mic on that one. You were wailing in a good way.
That was
You know what?
amazing.
In the best way.
I've been shouting this whole podcast.
I noticed that. I was like thinking about this earlier in the show. I was like, Mark's a little bit further. This is my producer brain. Like, Mark's a little further from his mic than usual, but never mind. He's just as loud because he's just yelling. So it's fine.
I'm yelling this whole podcast.
Italian-led podcasts, man. I love it.
Yes.
So in April of 2023, the Endeavor Group formed the TKO Group Holdings to merge the UFC and WWE, creating a sports entertainment company valued at a shocking $21.4 billion. Vince McMahon, the co-founder of WWE, or WWF that is, was initially named the executive chairman of TKO, but resigned in January after assault and sex trafficking allegations that he strongly denies. After his resignation, however, Vince sold $311 million in stock back to TKO and is reported to have earned roughly $1.5 billion in sales of TKO shares.
He's a rich man.
Damn.
He's a very rich man.
So what do we think about these allegations? Vince earning over $1 billion from a merger he was an integral part of, and the state of the WWE and UFC in the aftermath.
Oof.
I mean,
I think
listen.
he did it.
This is
Yeah,
not
he
the
fucking
first.
did it.
This is
He's
not
a
the first
scumbag.
time. This is not the first time this has been alleged. Not the first time at all. Take a look at the history of Vince McMahon. It pretty much started with the Attitude Era back in the 90s. The fact
The
that
blonde
Getting
panties
busted now.
matches and all the stupid, gross shit.
I mean,
he did.
yeah, just Vince has been full
his
of
whole
controversy. Yeah, his whole life, pretty much. I mean, the fact that you mentioned that he was a founder of the WWF. That's technically true.
Right.
He essentially usurped the company from his father.
Really? I didn't see. I
Yes.
didn't follow it back in the 80s, so I didn't know this whole story.
A coup.
Oh, this is
coup, you
before
say?
before the 80s. I think
Okay,
it happened actually in the
70s?
70s.
Like Andre the Giant
yeah.
era.
He essentially stole the company from his father. Now,
Wow.
granted,
What a guy.
Vince is responsible, I think, for turning the WWE into the global phenomenon that it is now.
Okay, yeah.
I
What?
think that was Hulk Hogan.
That's
No, it was definitely more than Hogan. Like Vince had a lot to do with
there were some legendary
the current state of the
characters.
WWE. Now, with regards to him getting paid billions of dollars, I mean, keep in mind all of the CEOs that get caught with their pants down, either literally or figuratively, get paid giant ass severances. Is
No
that
way.
fair?
No,
I mean, this was essentially, though.
of course,
right?
of course, it's not.
The most golden of golden parachutes, right? He literally convinced them as part of the merger that he needed to become the chairman. He became the chairman. He knew he was doing shitty shit. And I mean, stuff like that.
He's
doesn't
always been doing shitty shit, though.
stuff like that doesn't just come out. So, like,
No.
he literally was like, all right, I'm going to make a boatload off this very profitable company that I happen to own a majority share in now.
I don't know. I don't think that was his game plan. I think he wanted to stay on and like, oh, I have to leave. Okay, pay me my money. That's
Right,
what.
I don't
That's,
think he thought he was going to get caught, honestly.
no,
What is-
I don't think
what
so
are
either.
the moral and ethical implications of something like that, though? Like,
The rich
how
get
do-
richer, man.
Why?
There's no
Because
rules for them.
that's the way
That's
things are
right.
set up.
Yeah, it's the system. The system is broken.
Well,
Look
They
at
run
all,
the system.
and it's not just McMahon. Look at all of these high-powered CEOs. Again, they get caught doing some of the nastiest things. We just talked about Boeing last week.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah, right.
the CEO of Boeing is going to get a fucking hella severance package out of this.
This is so
Even
stupid.
though
He
it's
should-
his fucking fault for what the state of the company is in right now.
That should be reversed, and he should owe like the shareholders that much money, straight up, or be forced to like liquidate his sales, but then
That's
give
the
all
way.
the money
That's
away.
the way that corporate America is set up. And is it
Yeah.
right? Hell no.
Stock
Hell no.
stock buybacks is the stupidest thing ever.
Can we pivot just a
Okay,
little?
almost as
and-
bad as like Citizens
Yeah,
United.
the
and,
fact
you
that
know.
he got to sell the stock that he literally just created,
Yeah.
that he literally just made split, is ridiculous.
Yeah,
It's ridiculous.
you have a circle jerk of these guys buying a bunch of shares to make the company more profitable and merging with other companies to make them more profitable, then using all that money of revenue to buy back more stocks to make them all more rich again, to make the company richer so they can buy back more stocks.
Yeah.
It's a giant, it's
circle jerk. I like that.
completely,
It's a good
it
term.
is. Oh,
Yeah.
and on top of that, then all these people then have direct influence in politicians' pockets because they're all lobbyists for them. And they're the ones responsible for getting most of those people in office. So instead of serving their constituents, they're serving.
Can we? pivot just a
they're
little?
at the other end of the circle jerk. They're part of it too.
The game.
Is
Sorry.
both the WWE and UFC better off for TKO now owning them or not? Like, and Mel, you might have more insight in this. Just what is the state of the UFC right now, and really maybe even compared to the state
I
of
think
the
the
WWE?
UFC is better off than WWE right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just literally last night I just watched the Roadhouse remake on Prime. Really fucking enjoyed it, by the way.
Yeah.
And Conor
What-
McGregor. Go ahead.
He's
No,
still
no, no.
fighting.
Go ahead.
Conor McGregor was really, you could tell he was really happy to be in a movie. He was just like tiny little Irish dude. He was like, one whole 30-second scene, he was just like, I want to be naked. So he was just
No.
naked. It was
Wait,
just-
what?
yeah.
Okay.
He literally spent he jumped out of like a window and he just like walked through the town and it was like this.
What was the?
Like, oh,
Naked.
Okay.
You know what?
What was the big fight?
But that-
Melanie, remember this? There was a big fight with McGregor and somebody else that was like super hyped for like an entire year, and they were just trash talking all the way leading up to. Did that fight ever even happen?
Mayweather.
Yes, Mayweather. One was a boxer,
did.
and it was actually a boxing match, though, wasn't it? Or was it an actual
Yeah.
UFC? Okay.
No, it's boxing.
Interesting.
The boxers never do UFC. It always becomes a boxing.
Okay. I feel like that's heavily in favor of the boxer.
It is, but
Floyd Mayweather almost fucking killed him because
Yeah.
Conor McGregor was not really that big of a
I
man
was
either.
gonna say.
I think he broke his leg or something. Too. His
Oof.
bone popped out. If I
Yeah,
recall.
he almost fucking killed him.
Damn.
But that movie was like, it was very interesting because it really put the UFC in kind of an interesting light, where it was talking about like kind of the PTSD that the main character had from like being in the UFC and like almost killing one of his friends. Like, I mean, you get these
It's
guys
a
who are
brutal sport.
well.
You know what? A lot of them too are ex-military, so it's
Yeah.
a
Oh,
big
damn.
combination of.
I mean, you bring out the baser nature in people, like aggressive, strong, powerful men who like.
And it's if military, I'm guessing you're trained to just kill as efficiently and quickly as possible. Like, how do you
Yeah,
even
yeah.
control that in that kind
You
of
don't.
fight?
That's the thing, and I mean the premise of this film, but just like in general, I'm sure shit goes down all the
Yeah.
time, man.
It's
All the
weird
time.
because when they're fighting, it's a full-on fight.
Yeah.
Then when the fight's over, they're like, it's over.
Mhm.
They go to shake each other's hands. It's like it's just so weird. The switch is just so strange.
Man, you have a friend who fights MMA, right?
Yes.
You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean he's pretty calmer. I mean, once he's fighting, but he's always like like I said, when the fight's done, it's done, and he's shaking hands and being respectful, and it's just like there's a lot of sportsmanship and respect there. But
Yeah,
until
I mean there has to be
There
almost,
is,
right?
there is.
Mhm.
But that
Definitely.
ring bell probably just sets off something in him,
It's
right?
different,
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
Yep.
But they have a lot of respect during the fight too. So if the guy's in a certain position and down, or the back of his head, they're not just going to start swinging on him. They'll wait until he's turned around and they can't hit him in the back of the head. They won't do that kind of thing. Or if they
lost our
think they're
producer.
hurt.
It's fine. Something's going on. Something's going on in Peteville. So he's.
I see
think
that. I
something
heard
fell.
something.
It's like a whole problem.
All right. Well,
Sorry, Melanie.
that's
I'm back. I didn't mean to run out in the middle of your talk there. It's
okay.
baby emergency.
It's okay. We're at time. We're at time anyway.
And we'd like to bring forth one of another sponsor that we have, End Zone Home Theaters. Experience every touchdown in high definition with End Zone Home Theaters. Our surround systems put you in the center of the action, making every game a home game. End Zone, where sports fans live.
Whoa.
I'm going on Amazon, and I better find these.
I have goosebumps now.
There was an End
I'm
Zone
ready.
222 home theater couch system.
He's Googling them.
So that has been our topics. As a reminder, we broadcast these live on YouTube every Thursday night at 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific. If you can't catch us live, then feel free to watch us on our YouTube channel, www.youtube.com/@IfTheseBallsPod. And don't forget to subscribe to us by tickling that little bell.
Ew.
We would like to thank our guests for joining us this week. Thank you, Mel.
Thanks, Val.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
You can also follow or like us on our socials at If These Balls Pod on X, Instagram, Facebook, Threads, and TikTok. Our website is www.iftheseballscouldtalkpod.com. This is Mark Pesci, and for my partner John Campagna and producer Pete Steffen, that's what we feel they would say if these balls could talk. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Have a good night, all. Until next time.
If these balls